Right, I got asked the other day, well actually it was last week now, and I've tried to make this video before but I lost my sound. I got asked how I started in motorbikes, and it's pretty much I was born. My father was a team mechanic for a classic motorbike race team, and so all my early years I was brought up in workshops and racetracks around the country. The earliest photo I remember of myself, there are earlier ones, but the one that I can picture in my head is in a garage, I think it was. It's this one. It's very young age, maybe less than 2, and on a motorbike. I was probably about a year old or something like that. And then that carried on for years, jumping on various bikes of my cousins and family members and stuff like that. And then at the age of, I think I was 11, I got my first motorbike of my own, and it was a CR80 big wheel motocross bike, this one. And that was it. The love for bikes was forged at that point. It was, despite the broken various bits and pieces and damage done to my body, it continued, and that actually had to get sold when I was about 14, I think, late 13, 14, and I had nothing for quite some time. And then when I got to 16, I was allowed to ride a 50cc, as you are in the UK. So I got something that I look at it now and I think it's ugly as hell. It was the Yamaha RD50 MX. This isn't mine, I don't have any photos of it, strangely. I actually sold that to my mate eventually, then he blew it up. And then when I hit 17, I got a Kawasaki KE100, pretty much the same power as the 125s. Good little off-road bike. I even took that down the motocross track and had some fun down there with it. Unfortunately that got stolen off a local arsehole, and I had to buy something else, and strangely the Kawasaki KH100, which is the exact same engine, slightly different gearing I think, and obviously different styling. From that, what did I get after that? Actually, I think I got banned on that bike. I did get banned at one point. And then, so I had a bit of time off riding, moved around the country, came back here and bought I think it was a Suzuki GN125. I bought a little 125 to fly me back to work and back until I could do me test. And when I did that, I got myself a Honda Cross 400, the grey import. I'll be honest with you, I love that bike. I still love it today. I have been tempted on a few occasions to buy another Bros, but because it being a 400, I'd want to do an engine swap. I'll just go straight out and buy the NTV, which is a shaft drive version with a 650 motor in. But never mind. That bike, I was living away and somebody decided to jump a red light in front of me, and I did a Superman over his bonnet, and that bike was wrecked. Forks were snapped, the engine eventually seized up by the time the insurance came out to look at it. So obviously I wasn't able to ride at the time. I had a broken scaphoid in my wrist. It didn't stop me, to be honest. There were ways around it. And eventually I bought myself a FX 400R. Not as ugly as some of the earlier ones, but it wasn't pretty, but it was to keep me on the road until my 33 Brecos limit was up. And I'll tell you what, the day that went up, I was happy, because I bought myself a Suzuki Velocia VL800, and that really was my baby. That's kind of put me on the Suzuki game. I love Suzukis now. The torque in that thing was unbelievable. Vance 9 straight pipes, lowered seat and everything, you know, it was all lowered on the arse end. Absolutely beautiful. Put that into the back of a car sideways when someone jumps another junction. But fixed it, you know, new tank, sorted everything out. Had it spray painted up, semi-custom, not really custom, I had a bit of artwork that I did on the tank. Absolutely loved that bike. And then unfortunately in 2010 it blew up. I don't know why, but it looked like one of the main bearing bolts, or whatever you call them, the big end bearing bolt came loose. It all went tits up. Thankfully I was able to pull it to the side of the road safely, but that was the end of that. I've had a few bikes after that. What was it? FZ 600. I think it was a Vulcan. I had a Vulcan 750, and I will not get another one of them. It was gutless. It really had no power. It was something to do with the carbs apparently, but that went. And after that, actually after that I bought this. My Suzuki GSX 1100 EX 1982. Obviously a bit different. Front end's pretty much completely different apart from the wheel. Mustang tank, modified frame, modified subframe all welded on, GMX style swing arm. I keep saying I'll put some different wheels on it, but until I can get my hands on a lathe, I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, that's how I got into bikes. 2 bad motorbike crashes, well, I'm saying bad ones, 2 that have put me in hospital, strangely both in the same year. One was the Honda Boss and over Mr. So-and-so's bonnet, and then later that year I was on the back of my mate and we went round a corner and it didn't go around the corner properly, and then that was quite a bad one for 3 of us, because it was me, the rider and the lad behind us. He got involved in it as well. Just one of them unfortunate things. But thank God for insurance. I think I got something like 16, 17, 18 grand, something like that, out of the 2 crashes. All of it pretty much wasted on bikes, women, booze. But I'll tell you what, I had a smile on my face them 2 years. Once I was sorted from the crashes and I got my first payment, you know. First thing I did was actually buy my Velocia.